What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to take a look at two, in my opinion, horrible reviews, GameSpot and the EW, okay, Entertainment Weekly. Now, for both of these, EW, I really don't know who actually goes to that to, listen to it, maybe like 60-plus-year-olds. GameSpot, I'm surprised that they do so I'm surprised they do movie reviews, but I do want to make this very clear up front, because I know there was some confusion about this on Twitter, like specifically with me. I'm not opposed to criticism on this movie, okay? I'm not even a diehard Snyder fan, okay? I've said it before, I wasn't part of the group to get this movie out there, okay? I've jumped on the bandwagon over the last, year or so, but I am not opposed to criticizing this movie. In fact, when I watch this movie, if there's problems with it, I'm going to tell you guys, and I will, I'll discuss it. But the point is, it's how you do it, right? If you're doing it just to do it, I guess depending on how your expectations go, but I'm not opposed to people, calling out this movie. It's just that when you see these reviews specifically, okay, they do it slightly different than the rest of them. You look at the average, whether it be on Rotten Tomatoes, or if you just, go around, there's a lot of people over on Twitter that are posting pictures, basically, of summarizing all the review scores from all of these different outlets, and I mean, most of them are 7, 8, 9. There's a lot of them that are in that range. And then you have GameSpot, 3 out of 10. You have EW being a C-. Now, I don't necessarily know what that breaks down to, maybe like a 4 or 5. Okay, so somewhere in the lower spectrum. Now, and again, not everybody is going to love this thing, so there will be scores on the slightly lower end, but it's how they word things. It's their kind of approach to it. And again, I think it's how they measured it up against the original version, right? Because, and we've talked about this before, how you review a movie like this, I've talked about it with Pirates of the Caribbean, I've talked about like Transformers, it is difficult, because do you want somebody reviewing these movies that are a fan of the, the arc that we've gotten, but then if you do that, like, you don't want it to be just a love fest, right? You don't want them just to love it, but like, if you do it from outside of it, well, they're not really, you know what I mean? Like, if you're reviewing Pirates 5, and you say, like, it's absolutely awful, don't watch it, well, like, how is it compared to the other 4? Do you care? And then there's the other side of it where it's like, well, technically anybody can watch these movies, right? I don't even have to watch any DC movie. If I have HBO Max and I want to watch this movie, I have every right to. And then so how am I gonna view the movie, right? So there's that angle to approach it from as well. I just look at these two reviews as being like the odd ones out, okay, not the YouTube channel, but just really, really odd and just not good. And funny enough, the Entertainment Weekly one was the first review that I saw. And remember, I talked about how be prepared for certain members of media and journalism to attack this movie. I think this will continue as the week goes on. When the movie comes out, you'll see people attacking, more often. But it's just funny that the Entertainment Weekly one was the first one I saw, and that one was like god awful. Then I saw IGN. I did see GameSpot's people sent me it. So, I want to go into it just a little bit again, talk about those kind of aspects of it. But really quickly, make sure as always, if you guys are new here, you're subscribed, bell icon turned on. If you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, we're so I keep saying it, but we're so close to 2,000 followers over on Twitter. Link for it is in the description below. The username is Podcast Now 15. Would love to have you guys over there. Okay, so first thing, I guess maybe you want to start at GameSpot. We'll start at GameSpot. So Zack Snyder's Justice League, relentlessly boring and endlessly long, okay? We can read through the whole thing. I don't really want to take your time, right? Everybody's time is very, valuable. I just want to look at the good and the bad. And I've read this review, okay? But the good is added context for Steppenwolf makes him a decent villain. New cyborg scenes work to flesh out Victor Stone in interesting ways. The bad, 4-hour runtime feels endless. Added scenes for Flash and Aquaman are clunky. The soundtrack choices get old very quickly. Horrible VFX looks like cheap, dated video game cutscenes. New characters like Iris West are given no dialogue or point in the plot. Now, look, again, they can have whatever opinion they want, and they're allowed to write whatever they want. It's their website. So again, to make all of that stuff very, very clear, I don't care who wrote this. I'm not going to go after this person. I don't want anybody going after this person. But it's just like, a 3 is so out there. You see it for games, you see it for movies. When they have that average, and then all of a sudden you get one or two that just gives it just such a, like, again, everybody's giving this thing like a 7 or an 8, maybe a 6, maybe even a 5, but like a 3. So like, it's absolutely terrible. And I think for Entertainment Weekly, I know some people were doing comparisons. I'm pretty sure they gave the original, Josh Whedon's version, a higher score. Now, I don't know if GameSpot even reviewed the original, but that's another thing to wonder. Did they actually give the original a better score than a 3? Okay, a self-edit here. I did look back. They did review the original Justice League 2017. Now, here's the deal. They didn't give it a score. But when you go to this one's pros and cons, the good, fantastic cast of heroes, surprisingly funny, plentiful character development for an ensemble, Aquaman. The bad, flat villain, distracting CGI, sometimes moves too quickly. So, okay, this actually, I'm glad I did this because this hurts I have more things to say now about this one. So, the good is they made Steppenwolf decent, which does fix the bad from, 3.5 years ago. Distracting CGI, I guess they say that continues. Now, from what I've seen, the majority... Now, there are people that are going after how it looks, that some visuals still do look kind of odd. I think overall, it looks better. The general sentiment I've got is overall, it looks better. So, I mean, it could just be a personal preference. That's okay. Sometimes moves too quickly, but then the bad is 4-hour runtime feels endless. So, again, like everybody's going to have their own opinion. That's completely cool, but it's just interesting that the good, none of the good made it into the good now. In fact, they actually kept it, right? The good and the bad. Fantastic cast of heroes, surprisingly funny, plentiful character development for an ensemble, and Aquaman. Then this one, they said that Aquaman is actually more of a negative thing, and this, they just say Steppenwolf and Cyborg. Those are their two positives. So did the extended runtime make the cast of heroes not good anymore? Did you not like any of the new scenes? They didn't mention like, oh, hey, some of the newer stuff actually makes it seem far more coherent, which is what we've heard from basically everybody else. That, yeah, it's definitely long, and yeah, you'll probably need a break, but, I mean, it makes more sense, and characters are actually developed. Plentiful character development for an ensemble. So they thought the characters back then were developed, which I mean... I don't hate that Justice League as much as a lot of other people do, but I do not think those characters were developed whatsoever. I mean, Cyborg was absolutely awful. Aquaman was pretty terrible. Flash wasn't very good. I mean, really, it was just Wonder Woman and Batman that got, the majority of the time. So, and then Aquaman, exclamation point. It's like, oh my God. So, yeah, I am glad I looked this up because this makes it look worse. I really do feel like they liked that one more than this one, and really no, I've not seen anybody else online except for our friends at the EW do something like that. Okay, now again, EW gives it a C-, and this one puts it in the exact same category. So it says Zack Snyder's Justice League is just as bad and twice as long. So, I mean, this is actually kind of a good segue. So, like, this is what I'm talking about. This really doesn't seem to be the mindset from literally anybody else, is that this one is actually just as bad as the original. Now, I did say, leading into this, I was worried about such a possibility, right? That if everybody was saying it, or obviously, and it doesn't really matter what these guys say, by the way, it more matters what when you're actually watching it, you're an individual, I'm an individual, it matters what we say, okay? But I did warn, and I was worried for myself, that when this movie comes out, if I watch it and it's like, ooh, this is just as, and again, just as bad means that movie was bad, and I guess it was bad. I don't think it was awful. I didn't hate it, but like thinking, oh, this is literally the same as Josh Whedon's version. If I felt that would be a massive disappointment. Even if it was a moderate, just a small step up from that version, I would also be disappointed. Okay, because I'm really looking for something that is flat out different, and which, by the way, everything that we've seen seems to say that it really is. This really is a different movie. Okay, the additional things that they add into it absolutely does change like a lot in this movie. But obviously, it also kind of needs to be good if it's just a bad movie. And again, that is a little bit more subjective. That's a little bit. That's another thing where it's like, again, that comes into, do you like Zack Snyder? Did you like Man of Steel? Did you like Batman versus Superman? And I guess even I'm in that kind of gray area because I did like Man of Steel. I still do like Man of Steel. Batman versus Superman, I really want to like it. I've watched it a couple times. I watched the extended version of it. It's okay, I would say, but at the same time, I just had such high expectations versus what we actually got. I don't know. I know there are some people that really, really do love that movie. I would say I don't. So you could even argue with me where it's like, well, you're not really a Zack. Are you a Zack Snyder fan? Are you really a Zack Snyder fan? Right? So it's like maybe I'm not gonna like this movie, but I do think I will. I really do think I will. So, this was something that I thought just was funny. Again, like Entertainment Weekly didn't break down the pros and cons thing. I don't want to read the entire, article for you guys, but these are definitely the outliers. These ones definitely, I think, are going more for clicks, which is maybe, signaling that they need help in terms of their website. Don't give them the help. I know technically I did, which was a mistake. I'm sorry about that. But again, they're allowed to write whatever they want. It's their website. They work for it, but it's just they are so outside of what everybody else is saying, and it just again, I guess, like, no wrong opinions because it's their opinion, but it just seems so off that it's almost as if they're doing it just for. And again, maybe I should go look at Entertainment Weekly. I'm not going to do that, but maybe go look at Entertainment Weekly if they reviewed, again, 2017's Justice League and see what it was. But that's another thing. Like, the GameSpot one really seems like it's very hypocritical, like literally itself. Now, it wasn't the same writer, but it just seems like that's very hypocritical of what they said back then versus what they said right now. I wouldn't be surprised if they're against Zack Snyder or against the fandom, which, again, I think, these journalists that are so anti a certain thing, whether it's that, Zack Snyder actually got to do his vision, or whether or not they're happy that fans actually won. Remember, a lot of people don't like that in Hollywood, and I get it, gaming journalism isn't exactly there, but they are very envious of it. They want to be it. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of that stuff made its way in, where it's like, yeah, we don't like the fans because fans aren't supposed to get what they want. They're supposed to get what we tell them to get, so we're going to give it a bad score. I wouldn't be surprised if that influences some stuff. And again, that's what these hit pieces, I think, are going to happen as the week goes on as well. So let me know, guys, in the comments below. Did you watch or read the reviews from these sites? Did you laugh? Did you maybe, again, take them seriously? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments below. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on. Again, if you want to follow me over on Twitter, PodcastNow15 is my Twitter handle. We'll be continuing our coverage of Justice League. We'll see if it's like a video a day, but definitely Friday on, there'll be brand new videos every single day on Justice League and the future. Okay, thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you all on the next video.